hitting the road, heading up to the trail. It's about 6:30. Should be there in about 2 hours. Made it to the trailhead. Time to strap in and start walking. How's that for pretty fall colors? Probably we'll see quite a bit more. At least that's the hope. But regardless of that, this is a beautiful trail. Very gradual up and down, pretty easy, which is good for me because I'm testing out my knee and ankle after some injuries earlier this year, and so far so good. So if I was in better shape and wasn't breathing so heavy. But it's beautiful here, and so far haven't seen a soul. All right, back to hiking. The weather is incredible. Nice and warm, but not hot. And not a cloud in the sky. Well, I am just under 2 miles from the trailhead, and got a bit of a clearing here that's pretty nice. There's still some water down in the creek there. Well, as you can see, there is some water still here. Not the clearest of water, but in a pinch I would maybe filter it and use it. Alright, I made it to the junction where the Arizona Trail splits off. Haught Trail continues on there. Well, I left the main cabin loop trail, took a little spur trail about a half a mile into this kind of little shallow canyon to the Haught cabin, or what's left of the Fred Haught cabin, which is basically a makeshift frame, foundation, and a nice fireplace. So, what I believe I will do now is have a little lunch and see how far I might want to go, because I've already made it to the spring, which I think is dry, and it shouldn't matter to me. I have enough water for today and most of tomorrow, so I may camp somewhere around here. I found a really nice flat area surrounded by some pines, and I may just hang out there. We'll see, but I'm gonna have a little lunch and explore this area around the cabin first. Soppressata and mozzarella rolls. Yes, please. That's good. Just wandering around by the cabin after having a little snack and checking out this cool area. All right, so I hiked back from the Fred Haught cabin to almost the main trail, and yeah, I think I'm gonna stay at this nice spot here that I found. It's pretty early still. It's like a little after 1 o'clock. I really haven't been hiking that long, but that was the plan, to reintroduce my knee and ankle and the rest of my body into backpacking and kind of do it at a nice gradual pace. So far so good, and rather than push my luck and wear it out, I think I'll just stay here. So I'm gonna make camp and probably start reading a book. You know, I think that sounds like a really perfect plan. I'd like to thank Mr. Michael Layton for this handy little gadget. Saves my lungs. Oh yeah. Well, my battery died as I was putting my bedding in the tent. But suffice it to say that as soon as I got my tent up and kind of got things situated, I sat down, started to read, and realized that maybe a nap was more appropriate, so I moved it to the tent, laid down, listened to a little music, and dozed off for probably about a half an hour. Anyways, I got up, took a walk back down to the trail, just down that way, and scouted out the Haught spring, which I assumed was dry when I first passed by there. But upon further inspection, I walked a little bit further and found where the spring was still coming out. Not really flowing too much, but there's plenty of water there. Again, a little bit murky, but pretty. You could see the bottom. It was clear. So I think if I do need water before I leave, I will filter some of that. Seems fine. So I was hoping to have a fire tonight and possibly tomorrow night. Just small, just kind of hang out, entertainment, maybe for a little warmth. However, while I did check the U.S. Forest Service website before I left, and it appeared to be that there was no fire restrictions in Coconino National Forest. When I got to the trailhead, it was posted that there was I think it's a level 1 restriction, which means no fires. So I will not have a fire, but that's okay. I'll still sit around the campfire ring and pretend after I have dinner. But better safe than sorry, so I will trust the sign rather than the website and play by the rules. Scout's honor. Dinner time, which in my case means sweet pork and rice by Peak Refuel. To 12 minutes later, we should have a ready-to-eat meal. Peak. Pork, rice, chilies, black beans, corn. Bon appetit. Mmm. My dining room isn't too shabby either. Cheers. Well, the sun has gone down and it's getting darker and darker by the minute. But I'm going to stay up for a little while, do a little more reading, try to stay up as late as I can so I can sleep in, because I'm sure it's going to be cold in the morning. It's cooling off right now. It's not too bad. I don't really need this puffy coat, but I didn't bring a lighter jacket, so it'll do. Time for coffee. Nothing better than a hot cup of coffee on a cool mountain morning. Yes, that's right, folks. I forgot the proper fitting to do a gravity feed filter. So rather than hold and squeeze this for the next 2 hours, I'm going to just try to balance it here and let it drip in there. So I decided I'd just take a stroll, a little day hike up to the next springs, which I believe is called Quien Sabe Springs. So I just made it up over, I believe, Haught Ridge and crossed a fire road, forest road. The cool part about this trail system is that these roads kind of crisscross around on these ridges, so you can do as much or as little of the cabin loop trail that you really want to. You know, just park where you want, do a little loop, or even shuttle, have 2 vehicles, drop off at a trailhead, then come back out here wherever you want to do as much of the trail as you want. Yeah, so anyways, I'm heading on down to Quien Sabe Spring. I believe it'll be towards the bottom of this next little canyon here, and we'll check it out. So I made it to Quien Sabe Spring, but as you can see, the spring is green but pretty dry. All right, made it back to camp, and all is well. I did put the rain fly on before I left on my hike, just in case. The clouds were not super threatening, but you never know. Yeah, everything looks good. Beautiful day again. Clouds are almost gone. All right, time for a little lunch. So what I'm going to do here, take some tuna. This is Thai chili flavored tuna. Then I'm going to mix in some mayonnaise, some sriracha, and some honey. And then also I have some cashews here that I'm going to mix in there too. Put it in a tortilla, eat it up. Oh yeah. Tonight, homemade chili mac. Boy, doesn't that look appetizing. All right, here we go. That will work. Ooh, I made it a little spicy. All right, I'm gonna get this eaten, clean up a little bit, watch the sun go down, and I'll probably retire to the tent a little bit early tonight and just kind of hang out in there. It's been a good day, good night, and looking forward to a good night's sleep. Get up in the morning, have a little coffee, and hit the trail. Good night, everybody. Well, it's morning number 2, and it is a little chilly. I slept well, went to bed pretty early, listen to an audiobook this time instead of reading a book. It's a good night's sleep, and looking forward to my coffee here in just a minute. So yeah, I was having my coffee this morning, and I was reminded a section I read a couple of days ago from the book I'm reading by John Muir, and I thought I would read it. It has to do with the morning. Watching the daybreak and sunrise, the pale rose and purple sky changing softly to daffodil yellow and white, sunbeams pouring through the passes between the peaks and over the Yosemite domes, making their edges burn. The silver firs in the middle ground catching the glow on their spiry tops, and our camp grove frills and thrills with the glorious light. Everything awakening and alert and joyful. The birds begin to stir, deer quietly withdraw to the leafy hiding places in the chaparral. The dew vanishes, flowers spread their petals, every pulse beats high, every life cell rejoices. The very rocks seem to thrill with life. The whole landscape glows like a human face in a glory of enthusiasm. And the blue sky, pale around the horizon, bends peacefully down over all like one vast flower. Although we don't have the peaks of Yosemite here, the morning is quite similar. So I broke camp pretty quick this morning. The clouds started rolling in and look a little threatening, so I'd rather play it safe. Nobody likes packing up when it's raining or wet. So I got everything squared away and about to hit the trail and head back to the truck. So here we go. I was hoping I might happen upon an elk. So far, just a gray squirrel running up a tree. No rain yet. Hopefully not until I get to the truck here in another hour or so.